Why NATO should be worried about the 235 PL-19 Nudol anti-satellite weapon. The 235 PL-19 Nudol, a shadow over low Earth. The 235 PL-19 Nudol anti-satellite weapon and anti-ballistic missile ABM systems present significant concerns for NATO and the United States due to their potential impact on strategic stability, military operations, and national security. The 235 PL-19 Nudol, a name synonymous with both defense and destruction, casts a long shadow over the increasingly vital realm of low Earth orbit LEO. Developed by Russia's Almaz Anti-Aerospace Corporation, this system is a dual threat, an anti-ballistic missile ABM shield designed to protect against nuclear attack, and a potent anti-satellite ASAT weapon capable of crippling orbiting spacecraft. The Hypersonic Defender. The Nudol is a hypersonic missile, meaning it travels at speeds exceeding Mach 5 times the speed of sound. This exceptional velocity allows it to intercept incoming ballistic missiles during their mid-course phase, offering a crucial layer of defense for Russia. The Nudol's primary purpose aligns with Russia's strategic needs, particularly the protection of Moscow and other critical regions from potential nuclear threats. The dark side, anti-satellite prowess. The Nudol's ability to target satellites in LEO is a cause for concern. A direct hit from the Nudol can obliterate a satellite, creating a cascading effect. The resulting debris can remain in orbit for years, posing a significant threat to other operational spacecraft, including the International Space Station (ISS). The 2021 Nudol test that destroyed the Cosmos 24.8 satellite forced the ISS crew to take shelter, highlighting the dangers of such weapons. Here are several reasons why NATO and America may be worried about these systems. Threat to space dominance. Disruption of satellite communications. The 235 PL-19 Nudol and ABM systems have the capability to target and destroy satellites, which are critical for NATO and U.S. military operations, including communication, navigation, reconnaissance, and surveillance. Disruption of satellite communications could significantly impair the ability to command and control forces, leading to operational limitations and decreased effectiveness on the battlefield. Vulnerability of space-based assets. NATO and the United States rely heavily on space-based assets for a wide range of military and civilian functions. The vulnerability of these assets to anti-satellite weapons and ABM systems poses a direct threat to national security and defense capabilities, as adversaries could exploit this vulnerability to gain a strategic advantage in conflicts. Escalation risks. Destabilizing actions. The deployment of anti-satellite weapons and ABM systems by potential adversaries, such as Russia and other state actors, increases the risk of inadvertent escalation and conflict. Any use of these systems in a crisis or conflict scenario could lead to miscalculation, retaliation, and escalation, potentially resulting in a broader military confrontation with severe consequences. Strategic uncertainty. The proliferation of anti-satellite weapons and ABM systems introduces new uncertainties and complexities into the strategic environment, making it difficult to predict adversary intentions and behavior. This uncertainty could undermine crisis stability and increase the risk of misinterpretation, triggering a dangerous cycle of action and reaction. Erosion of deterrence. Challenges to nuclear deterrence. The development and deployment of advanced anti-satellite weapons and ABM systems could undermine traditional deterrence mechanisms, including nuclear deterrence. Adversaries may perceive these systems as a means to neutralize or mitigate the effectiveness of nuclear arsenals, weakening the credibility of deterrence and increasing the risk of conflict escalation. Diminished strategic advantage. NATO and the United States have historically relied on their technological superiority and space dominance to project power and maintain strategic advantage. The proliferation of anti-satellite weapons and ABM systems erodes this advantage, potentially leveling the playing field and reducing the effectiveness of military capabilities in future conflicts. Arms race dynamics. Spiral of competition. The development and deployment of anti-satellite weapons and ABM systems by one state may trigger a spiral of competition as other states seek to develop similar capabilities to counter perceived threats. This arms race dynamic could lead to a proliferation of advanced military technologies and exacerbate tensions among major powers, heightening the risk of conflict escalation. Potential military applications. The Nudol's ASAT capabilities raise serious questions about its potential use in a military conflict. Here's a look at its possible applications. Disabling critical infrastructure. Many modern militaries rely on satellites for communication, navigation, and intelligence gathering. Taking out these satellites could significantly hamper an opponent's ability to wage war. Escalation in tensions. The destruction of a NATO or US satellite could be seen as a provocative act, potentially escalating tensions and pushing adversaries closer to a full-blown conflict. The perils of space debris. The Nudol's destructive power isn't limited to the immediate target. When an ASAT weapon collides with a satellite, it creates a cloud of debris. These fragments can travel at extremely high speeds, posing a significant threat to other spacecraft. The resulting debris field could persist for decades, hindering space exploration and scientific research in LEO. Technical specifications, unveiling the Nudol's bite. Shrouded in secrecy, some details about the Nudol can be gleaned from open-source intelligence and educated speculation. Here's a breakdown of its potential characteristics. Launch system. The Nudol is likely launched from a silo-based or mobile canisterized system, similar to other Russian ABM deployments. This allows for rapid deployment and increased survivability against a potential first strike. Boost phase. During the initial launch phase, the Nudol utilizes a powerful rocket motor to achieve hypersonic velocity. Solid-fueled boosters are a possibility due to their simplicity and suitability for rapid launches. Mid-course flight. Once the booster phase is complete, the Nudol separates and relies on an advanced maneuvering system for course correction. This system likely employs thrust vectoring or aerodynamic control surfaces to precisely home in on its target. Hit-to-kill mechanism. In its ABM role, the Nudol employs a kinetic kill approach. Here, the missile itself collides with the incoming warhead at extremely high velocity, obliterating it through sheer force. The same method can be used to destroy satellites in a direct impact. However, some experts posit the Nudol might possess a more nuanced anti-satellite capability. Non-kinetic destructive techniques. The Nudol could be equipped with a directed energy weapon like a high-powered laser or particle beam to disable a satellite's electronics without creating debris. Alternatively, an electromagnetic pulse amp detonation could disrupt the satellite's electrical systems. While the exact nature of the Nudol's ASAT capabilities remains unclear, its potential to disrupt or destroy critical space infrastructure is undeniable. Summary. The 235 PL-19 Nudol, a hypersonic anti-satellite ASAT and anti-ballistic missile ABM system under development by Russia, has caused significant concern for the US and NATO for several reasons. Challenge to US dominance in space. The US has traditionally enjoyed a dominant position in space technology and infrastructure. The Nudol's capabilities threaten this dominance and create a more multipolar space environment. Threat to critical infrastructure. The Nudol can target both satellites in low Earth orbit critical for communication, navigation, and intelligence gathering and ballistic missiles. This poses a significant threat to us and NATO military capabilities and civilian infrastructure. Hypersonic speed and maneuverability. The Nudol's extreme velocity and potential maneuvering capabilities make it difficult to track, intercept, and defend against. This creates a significant challenge for existing missile defense systems. Potential for escalation. The Nudol's existence lowers the threshold for conflict in space. A successful Nudol attack could trigger a domino effect, leading to other countries developing their own ASAT capabilities and potentially sparking a space arms race. Weaponization of space. The noodle normalizes the weaponization of space, potentially leading to the development of more advanced space-based weapons and jeopardizing the peaceful uses of space. Here's a breakdown of how the noodle specifically threatens us and NATO. Military capabilities. Destruction of communication and navigation satellites could severely disrupt military operations and intelligence gathering for us and NATO forces. Early warning systems. Neutralizing early warning satellites could hinder the ability to detect and respond to ballistic missile launches. Economic dependence. A large-scale attack on communication satellites could cripple financial markets and essential services across us and NATO member states. Psychological impact. The knowledge that space infrastructure is vulnerable could have a significant psychological impact on populations and leadership. US and NATO's response. So us and NATO are actively seeking ways to counter the noodle threat. Some potential responses include developing defensive technologies, investing in missile defense systems capable of intercepting hypersonic weapons, and hardening critical satellites to make them more resistant to attack. Strengthening space domain awareness, enhancing capabilities to track objects in space to improve early warning of potential noodle launches and target identification. Diplomacy and arms control, engaging with Russia in dialogue to establish limitations on ASAT testing and deployment, and pursuing international treaties promoting peaceful uses of space. Diversifying space infrastructure, spreading out critical space assets across multiple orbits and constellations to make them less vulnerable to a single noodle attack. The noodle represents a significant challenge for us and NATO. It necessitates a multi-pronged approach that combines technological advancements, diplomatic efforts, and international cooperation to ensure a secure and peaceful future in space.